Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week.
Being frozen alive isn't a very nice way to go. Just ask Jack Nicholson's character in The Shining. However, it's also an excellent preservative, preserving specimens of prehistoric plants and animals almost perfectly. It's always exciting to discover something so old in ice, but recent discoveries also shock even most scientists. From the biggest mammoth to thousands of frozen fish in ice, let's have a look at the 10 craziest cases of animals. Number 10. Yuka the mammoth. Ice is an amazing natural preservative. If something's frozen in it and is kept frozen, chances are any animal or plant matter will stay perfectly preserved for an indefinite time. Because of this, Siberia's permafrost has yielded hundreds of frozen prehistoric animal specimens, much to the delight of scientists. But one day in 2007, scientists found something that trumped nearly any fossil previously discovered: a perfectly preserved carcass of a baby woolly mammoth. The mammoth, who was since named Yuka, died around 10,000 years ago in the frozen tundra of northern Russia and remained frozen in the ground until it was discovered by reindeer herder Yuri Khudi in May 2007. It was found in a virtually inaccessible part of northwestern Siberia, which makes me wonder what Yuri was doing there in the first place. The mammoth was so perfectly preserved that it had no defects except for the tail being lopsided, making it one of the most important paleontological finds of the day. Number 9. Moose. It is surprising enough to find any animal frozen in ice. So imagine finding 2 moose together, which is already a rare animal, frozen under the ice with their antlers out. School teacher Brad Webster and a friend made the unusual discovery of 2 bull moose partially frozen under the ice, locked at the antlers. The 2 men found the moose while walking along a frozen area about 10 miles outside of town. With the help of a few more people, they removed the animals from about 8 inches of ice covering open water, recovering some of the spoiled meat for dog food and trapping bait. Webster said the meat was left at the site for anyone wanting it. It was the end of moose rutting season, and the animals likely were fighting over a female moose. Webster said that one of the animals was wounded by the other animal's antlers and perhaps died as their antlers were caught together, dragging the rival down with it. Anything can happen in Alaska. Number 8. A fox. Never go walking on thin ice. That old adage doesn't only apply to us humans, but to animals as well. If you don't heed that advice, well, you might just end up like this poor animal on our list. Somewhere in Germany, one poor fox decided to walk casually on one of the frozen lakes. Unfortunately, the lake wasn't completely frozen over, so the fox fell into the frigid water. Falling into frozen water is bad enough, but the temperatures that day were so low, the water around the fox quickly froze solid. The fox was found by a local hunter named Franz Stell. By the time he came upon the fox, it was so frozen that it was impossible to know when it fell into the water. He came back the next day, armed with a chainsaw, and cut the animal out of the ice. He then, quite controversially, put the frozen fox on display in front of a small hotel that he owned to warn everybody about the dangers of walking on frozen lakes. Number 7. The Silurican pony. Gold miners came across 2 legs and a tail belonging to a mummified pony sticking through the roof of a tunnel. They were digging this tunnel 9 meters below frozen ground near the upper Indigirka River in Yakutia in 1968. Known as the Silurican pony, this mature stallion lived between 35,000 and 39,000 years ago and probably died at the age of 7 or 8. Its gastrointestinal tract was full, suggesting it died a quick death. Stomach content analysis identified grasses, sedge, herbs, and woody plants as being part of its diet. The position in which the carcass was found, with its hind legs pointing down and more horizontal forelegs, led scientists to conclude the pony had died after becoming stuck in a bog. Experts from the Zoological Institute in St. Petersburg were able to recover most of the body except the head. Number 6. The largest penguin ever. The remoteness and harshness of Antarctica make it one of the least explored places on Earth. That's why scientists think that the icy continent is hiding many secrets just waiting to be discovered by those who are bold enough. Thanks to the permafrost yielding some of its secrets in the past few years, we're slowly getting to know this mysterious place. And this frozen discovery is one of its best-kept secrets. The largest penguin species to have ever waddled on Earth was unearthed in Antarctica. And its size is almost incomprehensible. Standing at 6 feet 8 inches from toe to beak tip, the giant bird would have dwarfed most adult humans. Number 5. Army of fish. And here's one of the coolest photos that you'll ever see. This ice wall of fish made everyone go crazy on social media a while back. This happened in a lake in South Dakota when a school of fish was riding above a wave and literally froze in time. No one's been able to give a solid explanation of how this happened, but we would guess that the temperature dropped in a matter of seconds, fast enough to freeze all of the fish in the middle of the rising wave. On the other hand, some experts believe that this phenomenon happened due to a lack of oxygen in the bottom of the lake. This forced the fish and other living beings to come to the surface just to get frozen in a very unusual way. Photographer Kelly Preheim, who's the one who documented this crazy moment, said that there were way more fish than what you see in these pictures. She confidently says there were thousands of them. Number 4. The Yuka bison. The male steppe bison was discovered in August 2011 by the Yuka tribe in Russia. The specimen was in pretty good shape, better than the other 2 that had been discovered before that. As per radiocarbon dating of select parts of the bison, like the hair and horns, it was about 10,500 years old. Scientists placed the weight of this beast between 500 and 600 kilograms and the height at about 1.7 meters. As for the cause of death, it's believed it died of natural causes since there were no signs of injury. About its diet, the steppe bison may have lived on wild herbs and grasses, evidenced by the pollen grains in its stomach. Generally, the steppe bison's natural habitats were Asia, Northern Europe, and North America. It existed during the Pleistocene period between 2 million to approximately 18,000 years ago. The bison wasn't so different from its present-day American counterpart. They only differ in size, with the American bison being a little smaller. Also, the steppe bison had larger horns and an additional hump. Number 3. A cave bear. Siberia seems to be the place to go if you want to find frozen animals. This perfectly preserved 39,500-year-old cave bear was found on the New Siberian island of Bolshoy-Lakovsky. The adult bear lived its life sometime in the last ice age, at the same time as large animals like woolly mammoths, mastodons, and saber-toothed tigers. When the bear died, permafrost preserved its soft tissues, organs, and fur, making it the best preserved example of a cave bear found yet. Most cave bear remains discovered so far have been odd bones and skulls. It was initially discovered by reindeer herders working on the island before it was reported to experts at the Northeastern Federal University. The cave bear carcass presents a lot of exciting opportunities for new research into Ice Age ecosystems. Its teeth might reveal details about its diet and the territory it grew up on, while the contents of its stomach will show whether the bear ate plants, animals, or both. An ancient DNA analysis could illuminate its evolutionary history. Number 2. Frozen fighting fish. Some people thought this was fake when it went viral on the internet, but unfortunately, it isn't fake. Just very, very disturbing. The footage came from 2 brothers who had been fishing on India's Wawasee Lake when they saw what looked like a pike in the middle of eating a bass. The pair had been frozen in place, and no one on the internet seemed to believe it when they posted a photo. To prove those internet haters wrong, they posted a video of themselves cutting the fish out of the frozen lake. They really had been frozen solid. The best explanation is the pike choked on the bass, died, and was frozen. Talk about adding insult to injury. Number 1. Cave lions. At the top of our list, we have an animal about which scientists had no idea actually existed. And what's better than 1 cave lion? 2 cave lions! These were discovered together in Russia. The cold permafrost preserved the small bodies of these 2 furry and wide-paw cave lion cubs, one of them in almost pristine condition. The 2 mummified cubs, nicknamed Uyan and Dina after the Uyandina River where they were found, were just about 1 week old when they died, likely crushed by extensive collapse of the sediments in the den, according to a researcher. These cubs are believed to be 30,000 years old. The ice that encapsulates the cubs has preserved incredible details, such as their tan yellow fur and their short ears and tails. With the use of CT scanning, paleontologists can even examine the inside of the cubs' bodies. Incredible, isn't it? What do you think about this list? And have you ever found an animal frozen in time? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and hit subscribe.